What is up, people? Matt here. So today's video is obviously about Hyrule Warriors from the title of the video. So this morning at 4 in the morning, which is a crazy time, they did a Hyrule Warriors, specifically in the West, Nintendo Direct, talking about the game basically. The game is actually due to be released in 3 days technically in Japan, so when it comes out in Japan, we'll know all the characters. We'll basically know everything about it. But for the moment, still, we don't know everything. So in the Nintendo Direct, basically they talked about a lot of things, the different stages, extra features and modes. However, obviously the one thing that everyone seems to focus on is the characters. So we got one character announcement, I suppose you could say, as well as other information about other characters. So first of all, the character announced was the King of Evil himself, Ganondorf. He's been completely redone. He looks absolutely amazing. But what else do you expect? However, interestingly enough, as well as Ganondorf being announced, Zant was confirmed as playable. Girahim was also confirmed as playable. So it's quite interesting to imagine that most of the villains are likely going to be playable in the game now, especially since Ganondorf, Zant and Girahim are all confirmed playable. That also makes you wonder, will enemies like the Poe Collector be playable and all those? I mean, obviously the humanoid characters were obviously going to be playable, I suppose you could say, but those sort of enemies and kind of bad guys are a bit on the maybe yes, maybe no side because of how they actually, are. I mean, you couldn't play as the King Dodongo and stuff like that because that'd just be ridiculous. But in terms of humanoid characters, obviously they are playable. So that's some good news. Other things they were talking about was a new mode called Adventure Mode, which is essentially, it's basically like the very first Legend of Zelda game where kind of you just see Link on the screen and he's running about left, right, up and down, fighting monsters, and there's actually, instead of playing on a battlefield, where you are playing on a battlefield, but it's actually essentially just a map with different sections and squares that you go on, so that's quite interesting. I'm going to be quite looking forward to that. As well as that, they AG Inuma also announced some other kind of cool features with the Cocos, whatever you call them. Basically, the same as all the other Zelda games. If you attack them, they will literally just come to kill you. Simple as that. But they can actually be used to your advantage, and they can attack the enemies, which is quite interesting as well. Obviously, there are other little bits that they show, such as the stages, Lake Hylia, obviously Twilight, whatever you call it, Twilight Field, Twilight Zone. This is the Twilight Castle. What else? Hyrule Field. All those stages. Interestingly enough, there's no Wind Waker stages announced. There's nothing for Wind Waker announced except for the actual Wind Waker weapon. Other than that, there's nothing in the game that seems to be taken from it. Majora's Mask is another one. Obviously, in one of the very first E3 trailers, you saw the moon being dragged down. In the video, it also showed you can just drag down the moon in normal battle occasionally with a hook shot, which is quite interesting actually. If there's a bunch of enemies around you, and you don't feel like just hacking and slashing, get your hook shot out, pull the moon, and they come to the ground, and knock the enemies down. So that's another quite interesting. But obviously, them putting that in there means they acknowledge the games, but are they going to go as far to actually give us characters from the games? I mean, I've been going on about this for so long. Honestly, out of all the characters in the Zelda universe, the one character I wanted playable the most is Skull Kid. I hope I hope he's an unlockable character in the game. I hope. I will be very, very, very disappointed if he isn't playable. Obviously everyone has their favourites, so not everybody's favourite character will get in the game, presumably. Although it was originally said that it was going to be a reality, but let's be honest, I don't think everyone's. You could just like you could like the postman from Majora's Mask. He could be your favourite character. Go think up a move set for him. It's not going to work. But there you go. So yeah, guys. Basically, this will be my kind of last speculation video, as well as kind of info on Hyrule Warriors for quite a while, because as soon as the Japanese release comes out, everything's going to be known about the game, so there'll be nothing else to talk about unless I do videos talking about the stuff that's in the game. I guess I could do that, maybe I will. So yeah, as always guys, thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video. Bye now.